Get in the counter.
All right, now I can hear you.
We good?
We're good. Go.
Shock Monkey Radio is entertainment for adults, by adults, and the views and opinions expressed here do not reflect upon the sponsors or FXBG Public Radio. For additional information, please refer to the United States Bill of Rights. Stand warned. Can you work in heaven? Do you think?
If that's heaven to you.
Yeah. Can I make my angel, or is it every day of the Sabbath? Or is there even day and night? So it's always a day, and that day is the Sabbath, and you can't work. Can I make my enchiladas? Can I build a birdhouse? Say you were a plumber, and the thing that gave you the greatest thrill in life was solving plumbing problems. Are there toilets in heaven? Just wonder if
Some people really, really enjoy taking craps.
Just like eternity on the toilet.
Some people enjoy that.
Some people do. It's like, yeah.
So yeah, I got to imagine.
Okay. All right. See, it's just, I was thinking, like, I'm all about chilling in the afterlife. I get it. Taking it easy. But I still want to do stuff. I still want to do stuff. It's like there's only so much shuffleboard you can play on God's cruise line before you're like, I want to do something. I want to build something. I want to create. Anyway. Welcome to Shock Monkey Radio. I'm your host, the Madman. Thinking about heaven and stuff. I want to remind you again that I have a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio. Become a patron today. I would very much appreciate it. Or you can send me money through Cash App. Use the cash tag shockmonkeyradio, all one word. You can also follow me on social media over here. Cover that again at the end. We're going to have to get serious right off the bat because I saw a picture this weekend and it really upset me, made me mad. And it made me realize that, we need to do another How to Man Up segment. And today we're going to do How to Man Up grill skills. All right, so I don't know if you saw this picture of Chuck Schumer at a grill, and it just infuriated me like so many other men. Just looking at this picture, it makes me so angry. All right, any man who says something ridiculous like cooking and cleaning is woman's work, whoever says that is lazy. They're just lazy. Every man knows you need to know how to grill meat. You need to know how to do it. All right, and I don't know what Chuck Schumer's doing here. I really don't. I don't know what's up with those burgers. Those burgers are, I don't know, it looks like you got them last week, and you're like, I'm going to grill them this weekend, and you said, no, let's save them for Father's Day. And so you left them in the fridge for another week. I don't know if you know about beef, but beef's supposed to be red. Similar to the hot dogs. Those hot dogs look like they're beef. They're reddish.
Burgers.
Those are what? Veggie burgers? That's what I was thinking. That those are veggie burgers. All right. And so I don't know if there's a trash can nearby, but that's where you prepare those. You just put those in there, and then they're ready. And so I don't know what's going on. And then you got the piece of cheese there right behind my head on an ungrilled veggie burger. And what kind of cheese goes best with veggie burgers? Do you think that's Monterey Jack?
It's probably not cheese. It's probably a piece of tofu.
It's probably a piece of tofu? God, I hope not. Matt Walsh talked about this picture, and he said, it's like the timing is all off. The hot dogs are all done. All right, but the burgers don't even look close to done, even if they are veggie burgers. All right, it's like, why did you get the hot dogs done first without even putting the burgers on? I mean, I get it. It makes sense. But you got to understand, Matt Walsh, is that these are Democrats. It's not like they're saying grace. You know what I mean? It's not like they prepare the food all at the same time, sit down and say grace, and then eat. These are Democrats. They don't do that. Somebody's just complaining. There's like the kids are complaining. They're whining. They want to eat, and we're not done with the fruit salad, and we haven't even put the burgers on, and the chickens. There's no chicken involved in this, by the way. There's no chicken involved in this. This is not even close to complicated when it comes to grill skills. All righty? Go to the show. Go to the whole picture.
Hold on. No chicken at all.
Yeah. He does look like he'd go. But it's not that difficult. Grilling meat. I see no seasoning in that picture. If you could zoom out again, you can see like there's no seasoning anywhere. All right. What I don't understand is like, somebody's like, cook the hot dogs, shut the kids up while we're cooking the adult food. Fine. But I don't see any seasoning over there. Not even salt. Pepper or salt. There could be salt on this patties, for all I know, because of their white color. You know, there could be salt on there, but there's absolutely no seasoning. Look, it looks like his glasses and a cutting board.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and so
A pair of glasses.
yes, and there's not even a Tupperware bowl over there filled with chicken, that's been marinating for the last week in golden Italian dressing. And it should be a big pot of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. You put the chicken on the grill with the burgers, and you're sopping the chicken up with the barbecue sauce. Don't you know? I mean, I'm not a chef by any stretch of the imagination, but I like meat. I like grilled meat in particular. So I learned how to cook it. And you know what? I'm really tired of celebrities and politicians staging photos like this. They're like, Grandpa, go stand next to the grill like you've been doing this. These are city liberals. You know what I'm saying? They don't cook their own food. I'm telling you, Jorge is just on the other side, ready to... let me get back in there. We've got to get the burgers and then the chicken. I'm telling you. And they put a piece of cheese or tofu on the raw burger. It's just silly. You ought to know how to grill.
Is that even his hand?
It's even his hand? It could be somebody.
Reaching behind him.
Yeah. No, he's got a selfie in his left hand, and he's just pushing it next to the guy who's grilling. See? See, that's my hand. That's me grilling. You need to know how to cook. All right? And where that begins for men should be at the grill. All righty? You need to pick up some grill skills this summer. Hey, it's the time of year where they're going to be grilling, and you don't want to look like a fool. You don't want to look like a fool who doesn't season your tofu burger. You know what I mean? The only thing I want on there is the hot dogs, because I know they're meat. Because it's a red. If you're looking to grill beef, here's a hint. It's red.
It's red.
I feel better. Woo! I should sitting on my chest. This is why I got to do this stuff. I got to talk about my conversion to the light side. I've been turned into a Trekkie. And I don't feel any shame about liking Star Wars for such a long time. I really don't. But I mean, I got to a point where it's Disney has so destroyed the Star Wars franchise. And you got to understand, it's even when I was growing up, there was a lot of us who were I don't really like Return of the Jedi. There's too many goofy characters, and then you got the teddy bears towards the end. It's just, I don't know. It seemed like George Lucas was exclusively marketing to children and exclusively tailoring the movie to market towards children. While A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back are excellent films for kids and adults alike. All right? And you still got to market your AT-ATs, and you still got to get your toys and stuff like that. You didn't have to make cute little cuddly savage bears with opposable thumbs to sell more stuff to kids. You didn't need to do that. And that kind of that started the downfall, I would say. Return of the Jedi started the downfall of the Star Wars franchise. And having talked with several people over the last couple of days about Star Wars and Star Trek, I started to realize I am a Trekkie. I like Star Trek better. Star Trek has provided far more entertainment hours in my life. Even the Next Generation. Whoops. Even the Next Generation. I love to hate the Next Generation. I love to fantasize about beating up Picard in a red shirt. I love that concept. All right, because he's not going to fight back. He's not going to fight back. Have you watched the show? Picard's not going to fight back.
He's checked out.
He is so checked out. That's why, and that's okay. It's okay to get entertainment out of entertainment programs that way. But the original series just takes the cake. It's the best of it all. Not only is it where it all began, it's far more masculine sci-fi. That's why it's great. And, there's a lot less, I don't know. Yeah, there's been disappointing Star Trek stuff that has come out since that I haven't liked and haven't liked. Enterprise, that was terrible. Oh, so terrible. Deep Sleep 9, terrible. All right? But I get far more entertainment hours. Like, I can't even hate Deep Space Nine because, and enjoy hating it because it's just so terrible. But I can enjoy hating The Next Generation. But the original series is where it all began. And that's where the hottest sci-fi action is in the entire series. And I have to admit, I'm converted. I'm converted. You know, real technology has been born out from Star Trek. No one has really invented a lightsaber yet. You know, that's a very good argument. Is like, at least technology has spawned from concepts that were born in Star Trek. Fine. I'm a Trekkie. Fine. You know what? And until Disney starts fixing Star Wars. You know, because the cool thing about Star Trek is that, you know, you skipped around. You got every time a new show came out, you got like a different captain, different first, like, in Star Wars, you're following the Skywalkers like there's some royal dynasty. Like, you care.
To that point,
yeah.
To that point, in Star Trek, not only do they step around in the timeline, they're in different political stages when they do that.
Yes.
So,
yes.
like, in Discovery, which is, like, kind of newish.
Yeah.
It's before they made peace with the Klingons.
Yeah.
So they're still at war with them, just like in the original series.
Right, right.
So I like that.
Yeah, it's good. So basically, EK is Kirk in this picture, and I'm Scotty. And Kirk's like, Scotty, what are you looking at? You wouldn't believe it, Captain. They had phaser swords, and they were moving things with their mind. Scotty, what strange alien world were you on? I don't know, Captain, but it was a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. So, live long and prosper, Nanu Nanu, I guess. I might have to clip that one. It's okay to hate something. Sometimes I start a conversation with somebody. I like a good one to open with anybody. It's like, what's your favorite roller coaster? Most everyone has an opinion on that. I like that. Another good one I like is, if you had any superpower, what would it be? And then I'll lead with mine. I'll say, if you had any superpower, what would it be? What I would want to teleport. Because I don't know about you, but I cannot stand sitting in traffic. I hate that it takes time for me to go somewhere. I would rather just, bam, be at work. Bam, I'm at the studio. Oh, I forgot my cigarettes at the house. Bam, grab my cigarettes. Bam, back. What about you? What kind of superpower would you like? And this one person said to me, I'd like to time travel. I was like, oh, cool. Where would you, when would you go? Oh, they said, I'd like to go back and visit the Roman Empire. And I'm like, what? You want to go look at the Roman Empire? Which era? First of all, are we talking Republic? Are we talking the Empire or the Ottomans? What are we talking about? The Byzantines? And really, that's what you want to do? First thing that I would do if I could travel through time, I'd probably go see Live Aid. I'd probably go watch Live Aid, hang out with the crowd, and talk to these people about, like, make up stories about, like, in the future there's going to be this thing called like drum and bass, where it's just people playing drums really fast and bass really fast on synthesizers, and people are going to love it for like 10 minutes. They're like, no way. It's like, or you say, like, hey, you know Madonna? Yeah, she gets real crazy in about 30 years, 50 years. You know, you can have a lot of fun. You time travel back to Live Aid. Or I would like to go, maybe live at Wembley, Queen live at Wembley in 1986, in the Magic Tour. I'd love to see that one live. Both shows. I think there was 2 shows. Or was there 3? I don't know. But if I had to time travel, that's where I'd go first. Or, better yet, it would be Led Zeppelin at the Pontiac Silverdome about a week before I was born. I would love to go. There's something like 76,000 people there in 1977. I'd like to go see that. I wouldn't want to go to see the Roman Empire first. I wonder, would you have to travel to Rome first and then travel? Or, yeah. Or if you could maybe like travel to the future where it's easier, like teleportation technology now exists. You travel to the future first, then you teleport to Rome, and then from there you teleport back and you go back in time so you can see ancient Rome. Because I was assuming, you know, you stay in the same spot in space when you travel through time. That's the thing about traveling through time, is like, because you travel, it's like it's 2 weeks away, you could end up out in space, and you're like, oh. Probably people have already have mutated and like special powers to travel through time, and they just like, I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna focus wheel, I'm traveling through time back, because it's always like a teenager. It's like back to a week before everyone pulls up, when Brian McGee pulled down my pants, travel back in time, and poof, the kid's out there in space, and he sees the Earth like thousands of miles away. It's like, oh, I traveled too far, spatially speaking. Traveling through time, crazy. All right, Madman teaches roulette. Let's talk about roulette. All right, I was listening to Gavin McGinnis talk about roulette, and he's like, Ryan pulled up something about how to bet in roulette, and he says, wait, you can bet on the numbers too? And it was like, oh yeah, you're Scottish, you're cheap, there's no way you'd ever gamble. I think he does bet on like boxing, maybe. Anyway, but here's the thing about a roulette table. Generally, you don't want to be at it very long at all. There's a reason why there's no seats around roulette tables. Well, I guess there are seats. Yeah, there is. There's seats. Okay. But generally, I do not want to be on a roulette table for very long at all. Usually, I do two losses. 2 losses and I walk away. And whenever it comes to when I'm talking about all these games, it's very important understanding when to walk away. And for me, because I have, what's it called? Obsessive compulsive disorder. My lucky numbers are 13 and 31 when it comes to roulette. And so it depends on the table minimum. And say this table minimum is $5 minimum. I'll put $5 in 13 and 31. That's 5 each on those. Then I triple that, $5 to 15. $15 goes on the double streets. Double streets are, each street is like 10, 11, 12. That's a street. 13, 14, 15. That's another street. The double street of 10, 13. Lots of lucky numbers in that block. Boy, I can't figure that out. The double street of that and the double street of 28, 31. Both $15. And then triple the 15 for 45 and put $45 on black. Let it spin. If red comes up, that's a loss. If black comes up, that's a push. If black comes up and it's one of your on the double streets, that's a win. When you get 2 losses in a row, walk away. Then go play something else, and you can come back and try this again if you want. I don't increase the bets at all. That's all I do. And you're probably sitting there thinking, it's like, Madman, this isn't really a strategy to win. And it's like, do you really think it is? But that's because that's not how gambling works. But gambling is, it's a big trap for people with obsessive compulsive disorder. That's why there's all these numbers up there, because everyone has their lucky numbers. And you can make your bet similar to what I have based upon your lucky numbers. You know, if you just pick 2 lucky numbers from there and then do the same betting pattern, 5 on each, 15 on the double streets where those 2 numbers live. And then the color of the same, try to keep them the same color. Yeah, because green is a nightmare. I hate, that changes everything. The greens, the zeros and double zeros. You know, they can protect their odds. It's like, Madman, you know, this isn't a winning strategy. It's just how I like to play roulette. And that's the whole point. It's like when it comes to gambling, there's no real winning strategy. It's just how you like to play. Your system, your preferred method of play. And that's fine. Like, do you really think I'm out here giving advice? How to get rich. It's not like I titled the videos, How to Get Rich Playing Craps. How to Get Rich Playing Roulette. Because I think maybe you could probably sue me. You're a liar, Madman. Yes, I know. I write fiction. Look in the description down below. Fiction is lies. So I don't know if I'm going to talk about any more gambling, any table games anymore. I was thinking about talking about Baccarat, but Baccarat's silly. You're watching somebody else play a game against themselves, and you're betting on that game. It's like, what are we even doing here? France, you're weird. And James Bond is I don't know. There must be nothing going in James Bond's head, because he's always sitting there playing Baccarat, and it's the most it's more mind-numbing than blackjack. Let me know when you're done playing your game there, and I'll jump in and bet anytime. You shuffling the cards again? Okay. You're dealing these out, and we're not even playing with those cards. Okay, just throw. Okay, whatever, dude. Bonk you. Oh, Baccarat Humor. That might be the title of the show. I want to talk about a guy I met in the Navy. His name was Boatswain's Mate, 3rd Class, Johnson. When I got out of boot camp, and I went straight to A school. I was guaranteed an A school, but not everyone gets guaranteed an A school. Some people join as like an able-bodied seaman. They'll go to basic seamanship training courses after boot camp, and then they're off to the fleet. And after a certain amount of time, you make some rank, you get some experience out there. You can strike for another, try to go for another rating. But generally, if you go that way, you start as a boatswain's mate. And so this guy, Johnson, Boatswain's Mate 3rd Class Johnson, he wanted to become a radioman. So he was shipped to Naval Training Station in Great Lakes, where I was, and was put in our class. And he had been in the Navy for like 2 or 3 years at this point. And he was a shellback. And shellbacks are sailors who have crossed the equator, and they go through this weird hazing ritual. I spent like 10 minutes looking at cool shellback tattoos. And there's a lot of cool ones out there, but for some reason this is the one I picked because I like this one the most. And this is why I don't get tattoos, because he was a shellback, this Boatswain's Mate 3rd Class, and he told us all the stories of the Navy.
It's a shame that makes it backwards. It looks better looking at it.
Yeah, I guess. I'll have him poop on me instead. And and so he had all these Navy stories of what it was like going to different ports and stuff like that. We just came out of boot camp, and we were, guys like him, we called him Petty Officer, and that's how it started, hello, Petty Officer. As he came in the room to join the class, and we're all touching on deck, and he's like, what the hell? No, sit down. And he joined the class, and then we're all like going through, filling out the sheet, putting our names on the sheet in the class. And he's sitting there complaining. He's like, you damn rickies, you damn recruits. All you do in the block letters is taking you forever to fill out this form, to get across the room. And in many ways, he brought a lot of informality back into our lives and came to like a bunch of kids who just got out of boot camp. You know what I mean? And our instructor at the Radioman A School was Chief Collins, and he was a cool guy. And so whenever he'd leave the room, that would leave Boatswain's Mate 3rd Class Johnson in charge. And so he'd be in charge of the room and of us. But he'd always have like some crazy Navy story about what it's like. He told us about the hazing rituals of becoming a shellback and how he's allowed to roll his hat that way. I would tell you how to roll it that way, but I'm not a shellback, and neither are you. That's what it's like. I could tell you what it's about, but I'm not going to, because it didn't happen to me, thank God. I don't like joining gangs. So it was something interesting. It's like it got us a glimpse into like what the next few years for our lives might be, because when you're going through boot camp, all you're thinking about is like, we got to get through this boot camp thing. You get out of boot camp and you finally go, and then you look at your watch and you're like, holy cow, another 3 years, 9 months of this. Time is really going slow. But he brought this informality. He brought us these stories from the fleet, and I thought it was extremely lucky to have a person like that in my class. So you can get a little something to what you're seeing forward, into the future. And when we all graduated the Radioman A School, he became from Boatswain's Mate 3rd Class to Radioman 3rd Class, and he was already shellback. We all got our duty stations following that, and went on our separate ways. It was something. I've been thinking about this a couple times, because I remember this conversation he had. We was talking with me, and he's like, I don't want to go through the whole filthy explanation of how we got to this sentence, but he turns to me and he says, Robbins, you ain't never had your asshole licked? Ooh, it makes your toes curl up like this. Ooh. I'm dying laughing. And like I said, he brought this levity, he brought this kind of informality back into our lives, but it was kind of like rubbing off on us too much. And you got to understand that all these like chiefs and petty officers and stuff like that that worked at Recruit Training Command and Naval Training Station and Great Lakes, they're used to all these recruits saying, yes, petty officer, no petty officer, yes, chief, no chief, yes, sir, no, sir, salute, attention on deck every time they come in. Aye, sir, aye, petty officer, aye, chief. They're used to it. And so when Boatswain's Mate Third Class Johnson come in there and he's saying stuff like, roger that, chief. Just, yeah, roger that, chief. We'll get right on it. Some of us were starting to say, roger that, chief, roger that. We were radiomen after all. And so they had to give a talking to us. Chief Collins came in and he said, look, there's some people in here that you don't say things like roger that to your senior enlisted people. And this is the way that I'm doing my eyes is the way that Chief Collins did it. He was like rolling his eyes the entire time. You're not supposed to talk to people who are superior to you when saying like stuff like roger that. You just say, yes, chief, no, chief, yes, petty officer. And he's rolling his eyes the entire time. And because he knows it's like all these people are like spoiled. Because back out in the fleet, you're just another dude. Another pair of hands, you know. But sometimes people will they get drunk on that power. That's a real thing. And especially happens at places like recruit training commands and so forth. Anyway, good memory. Cool guy. Made me laugh. Glad I was never a shellback. I never liked any. When I made third class petty officer, my arm was bruised for like a week. That's ridiculous. Anyway, let's get into the news worth knowing. Oh, right on time. Thank you, Fox News. Colorado town faces religious liberty lawsuit after cracking down on church's shelter ministry for the homeless. A Colorado church filed a federal lawsuit against the town of Castle Rock after local officials allegedly cracked down on the use of RVs to shelter members of the local homeless population, according to a May press release from the First Liberty Institute. Attorney Jeremy Dees, senior counsel for the organization, says the crackdown violates the church's First Amendment right to religious liberty. Quote, every law in this country is subject to the Constitution, and we have said that the government has to act very carefully if any of its laws and its rules run up against the free exercise of religion and federal law, and has taken a step further to say that when it comes to the land use regulations, when a county party can or can't do something on your property, well, they're going to have to demonstrate that they're pursuing a very compelling justification for shutting down that religious activity, he told Fox News Digital during a recent phone interview. It's obviously something that's harming no one. It's on the back of the property. It's helping everyone. It is a very minimal ministry, meaning there has been less than 10 people or so that have gone through it in that period of about 5 to 8 years. So I just don't quite understand why the city is so bent on preventing this church from doing the right thing. They should support the church rather than trying to stop their ministry, he added later. The RVs were used to house the homeless. They sit on a parking lot in the church's 54-acre property that spans to the Rocky Mountains and reportedly distant residential areas. Yeah, tracts of land are huge out west. It's so much different here on the East Coast. First Liberty's press release says the town claims that these RVs, or temporary shelter ministries, violate zoning ordinances and put an end to the practice last December. It is essentially decided that it's illegal to offer temporary shelter to the homeless, but okay to let them freeze on the frigid cold sidewalks. The release read in part. So, I don't have to read any more of the article. So what's going on is like the government is really has been cracking down on churches. You really saw that a lot during the COVID. You know, people who wanted to worship. They're like, screw all these stupid rules. And boy, the government was really eager to go after people in churches doing stuff like that. And that makes me nervous, you know, because after all, it's not like the government is doing anything for these homeless people. But they don't even want the churches to hone in on their territory, even if they're letting this problem get bigger and bigger and bigger. Because it's getting bigger and bigger. And the problem needs to be addressed. At least churches are trying to do something about it in a positive way. And so this problem is going to continue until it is solved. And it's going to be solved one way or another. And this is one way. You can let the churches do their homeless ministry. Now, homeless ministry is something that I did as a teenager with my church. We'd go to the homeless shelter and sing to people, make sandwiches, bring them down and stuff like that, hand them out. Something I feel is like, yeah, we should do something about the homeless problem. One way is you let churches do stuff like this. You can also, arrest people, junkies on the streets and stuff like that. That's kind of like a basic kind of thing. Also, mental hospitals and rehab facilities for people who are addicted to drugs. Because a lot of these homeless people are that kind of person. Churches can do programs like that. And the government could try to do something like that. But it never does. I don't know what the government's doing. Because they're like, the church has to take up this problem. The government's like, no, let it be. I don't know what they're thinking. Because it's going to be solved one way or another. This is one way. The next story is another way. The next story is another way. USC student arrested in stabbing death, a suspect attempting car break-in. A University of Southern California student was arrested after allegedly fatally stabbing a homeless man attempting to car break-in outside a fraternity house on campus, according to officials. The student, 19-year-old Ivan Gallegos. I wonder if it's Ivan Gallegos. He allegedly witnessed a homeless man attempting to break into multiple vehicles on USC's Greek Row before intervening, according to Fox 11. Gallegos was arrested on suspicion of murder. Although Los Angeles police did not explicitly say if he had been charged with murder, the outlet reported. He has no criminal record and his bail was set at $2 million. My goodness. Police said Monday night that they received a call about a man breaking into cars when 3 USC students confronted him, which led to an argument, Fox 11 reported. During the altercation, Gallegos allegedly stabbed the man, who suffered serious injuries before dying. The man was in a walkway between 2 fraternity houses in the 700 block of West 28th Street in the University Park neighborhood of Los Angeles when he collapsed, police said. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The incident happened near a small homeless encampment. You said L.A. already.
I wouldn't call it small.
Yeah, it's not small, yeah. Multiple surveillance cameras located along Greek Row, and investigators will continue to review the footage, police said. USC told the outlet that Gallegos was a junior business administration program. So that's what I mean, like the homeless problem will be solved in another way. And you could say right or wrong what this college student did, whatever you think of it. But this is an eventuality. This is how it's going to happen. People will want to protect their property, and they will protect their property with violence, with weapons. I know it's LA, and it's like a knife is a big deal. All right? But people are going to protect themselves. They're going to protect themselves and their property. And sometimes that's going to mean homeless people are going to get killed because the government's not doing anything. And the government won't even allow churches to try to fix the problem, try to help the problem in any way. Problems get solved. That's just the way it is, the nature of things. Let's talk about some sad news. A lot of people, I don't know. Willie Mays died. All right. Willie Mays dies at 93, MLB legend. The Say Hey Kid died on Tuesday afternoon, San Francisco Giants announced. He was 93 years old. It is with great sadness that we announce that San Francisco Giants legend Hall of Famer Willie Mays passed away peacefully this afternoon at the age of 93, the Giants said in a statement. Michael Mays, Willie's son, added, "My father has passed away peacefully and among loved ones. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my broken heart for the unwavering love that you've shown him over the years. You have been his life's blood." Mays was one of the greatest ball players ever to grace the baseball diamond, beginning in 1951 as a 20-year-old making his debut playing at the New York Giants. Mays caught the eyes of MLB teams while playing in the Negro American League with the Birmingham Black Barons. That's an awesome name for a team. Birmingham Black Barons, and he was still in high school when the scouts were clamoring for him. Mays would go on to be a 24-time All-Star, 2-time MVP, 12-time Gold Glover, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, Rookie of the Year, and 1954 World Series champion, in an illustrious career that led to an easy Hall of Fame induction. Quote, "Today we have lost a true legend," Giants chair Greg Johnson said. In the pantheon of baseball greats, Willie Mays' combination of tremendous talent, keen intellect, showmanship, and balanced joy set him apart. A 24-time All-Star, the Say Hey Kid is the ultimate forever giant. He is a profound influence not only to the game of baseball, but the fabric of America. He was an inspiration and a hero and will forever be remembered and deeply missed. Giants president CEO Larry Baer added, I fell in love, I suppose, with baseball because of Willie, plain and simple. My childhood was defined by going to Candlestick with my dad, watching Willie patrol center field with grace and ultimate athleticism. Over the past 30 years, working with Willie and seeing firsthand his zest for life, unbridled passion for giving to young players and kids has been one of the joys of my life. Mays was known for his ability to wow crowds with thunderous home runs, slick base running, and miraculous plays in center field. One of the most iconic plays ever in MLB came in the 1954 World Series that was forever called The Catch. And that was a picture that EK was showing there earlier, the black and white one. In Game 1, Mays was on a dead sprint deep into the Polo Grounds outfield with the game tied in the 8th inning, 2-2, against then Cleveland Indians. Vic Wertz hit a fly ball with runners on base, and it looked like the lead was about to be broken. That was until Mays made a jaw-dropping, over-the-shoulder catch that had the quick presence of mind to throw the ball back in so the runners couldn't advance. The Giants went on to win the game 5-2, and that play will forever be known as one of the greatest ever. All of Major Baseball is in mourning today. Major League Baseball is in mourning today as we gathered at the very ballpark where a career and legacy like no other began. Willie Mays took his all-around brilliance from the Birmingham Black Barons to the Negro American League to the historic Giants franchise. From coast to coast in New York and San Francisco, Willie inspired generations of players and fans as the game grew and truly earned its place in the national pastime. That's what MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said. Mays number 24 was retired by the Giants, and he remains the franchise leader in games played with 2,857, hits with 3,187, runs with 2,011, doubles with 504, home runs with 646. He's still leading in these things. Wow. He ended his career with the New York Mets at 73. Willie Mays is one of the best ever, greatest ever to ever play the game, Mets co-owner Steve and Alex Cohen said in a statement. Willie ended his Hall of Fame career in Queens. This was a key piece of the 1973 NL Championship team. Mays played with style and grace like no one else. Alex and I were thrilled to honor and previous promise from Joan Payson to retire his iconic number 24 as a member of the Mets in 2022. So, I don't know. It's exciting. Baseball is exciting, and it lives on in the hearts of, all the boys everywhere who like the game. And Willie Mays, I mean, it's just for so many. Like even when I was a kid, he was getting up there. And what, he retired at 73? Yeah, he was already retired. It's not like I ever saw him play, but he was a legend. Willie Mays. It's like some guys like makes a nice catch out there. Willie Mays, nice one. He still holds records. It's amazing. All right, got about 20 minutes left. We got 3 stories. Let's do these goofy ones. Get some laughs before we get out of here for the week. Okay. Cigarette smuggling has crippled aid delivery in Gaza as smokes go for $25 a piece. EK, let's get a boat. Yeah. All right, so the high price of tobacco in Gaza has given rise to cigarette smuggling industry that now threatens United Nations aid convoys, according to a new report from the Wall Street Journal. Cigarettes could cost as much as $25 each in the war-torn region, and gangs have found ways to smuggle them in as contraband alongside aid deliveries. One group of Palestinian men demanded entry to a UN warehouse last week to secure a stash of cigarettes they knew was inside, according to the Journal. Have you done the math? 20 times 10 times 25?
20 times 10 is 200. Lot.
The smuggling operation only enhances dangers for aid convoys in Gaza, which have already faced mobs of Palestinians stopping them in their tracks. Demand for cigarettes skyrocketed in early May when Israeli forces seized control of the Rafah crossing between Gaza and Egypt. They closed the border to virtually all trade, cutting off the previous steady flow of tobacco products into Gaza. Opportunists, obviously, then began smuggling the product into the region via the aid packages coming in through the United Nations facilities from all over the world. The danger has contributed to aid groups' refusal to make deliveries beyond the Gaza border. Over 1,000 truckloads worth of aid are still just sitting within Gazan territory as the Kerem Shalom crossing with Israel, according to the Journal. This is threatening to undermine everything we're trying to do, a UN official told the outlet. President Biden's administration sought to facilitate aid delivery by constructing a temporary pier on the Gaza coast last month. The effort soon met disaster, however, as weather rendered it unusable in a matter of days. UN also announced on June 10th that they would halt food distribution at the pier due to safety concerns. The U.S. spent roughly $320 million of our money on building the structure. Rocket attacks struck 2 warehouses holding aid delivered to the pier in early June, contributing to the pause in delivery. The Biden administration said it's committed to maintenance of the pier moving forward. What? UN is useless. Biden's useless. Ugh, what a mess. And I was thinking about how that when King's Landing was about to be sieged, they rounded up all the thieves and stuff like that. Because, yeah, when a place gets under siege, like the criminals, they really start making money, And if you got a stockpile of cigarettes and you're in Gaza, you could be a millionaire overnight. But it's always, this is always true. Like in war zones, luxuries like this can go way high. It's funny because you watch those like Band of Brothers and stuff like that. Everyone's smoking cigarettes and stuff like that. It just, I think that's like I think it was like the original rationale for putting cigarettes in rations was like, well, they could use them for trade. Now they're going to smoke them. Anyway, so that's a big mess over there, obviously. But they're so concerned with God and where their soul's going, but they're like, give me cigarettes. I'm going to get my cigarettes. All right, let's talk about twins. Twins are weird. Speaking of Game of Thrones, Lannisters, twins are weird. So 23 sets of twins graduate from one of the Massachusetts middle school. Extraordinarily high number.
Check the water.
Yeah, check the water. Or there's a pair of twins in that town that's banging everybody. That's what it is. So a Massachusetts middle school recently celebrated its 8th grade moving up ceremony for its outgoing students, including a remarkable 23 sets of twins. Pollard Middle School in Needham, Massachusetts. Needham, Massachusetts? Like Needham, you need the twins? Needham? Has a fairly large student body. Principal Tamantha Bibbo told the Associated Press, you should sue your parents. Tamantha Bibbo? You should sue your parents. But that's what she told the Associated Press. But the sheer number of twins this year's 8th grade class is quite unusual. We typically have somewhere between 5 to 10 sets at most, Bibbo told the AP, given our numbers. We have approximately 450 to 500 children in each grade. Wow. So this is extraordinarily high. We have 23 sets of twins, plus another 8th grade student whose twin brother attends a different middle school, comprise about 10% of the class, she said. Plus an 8th grade student whose twin brother attends a different middle school. Supposed to hate each other? They're like Cain and Abel. Oh, just fighting. What's the story behind that? Anyway, they received special mention during their moving up ceremony on Wednesday, June 12th, Bibbo told the Associated Press. Twins represent about 3% of live births in the United States, according to the National Center for Health Statistics, meaning that the number of twins in Pollard Middle School's 8th grade class is more than 3 times what could be expected. It's not clear what percentage of the twins at Pollard Middle School were identical or fraternal. Or there's got to be at least, when you're talking about that many sets of twins, there's got to be at least 1 triplets in there, right? And those triplets just sit there, why are we getting let out? You're we're triplets. No, nothing. All right, about 1/3 of all twins are identical, meaning they're monozygotic, single zygote, that split in the womb. The other 2/3 are fraternal, meaning they're like 2 separate zygotes. They're like Jaime and Cersei Lannister. Or what's the other one? Like Luke and Leia. And they're no more alike than any other siblings, generally. The occurrence from fraternal twins can be linked to genetic factors, whereas the chance of identical twins is equal for every pregnancy, National Health Service says. The number of twins and multiple births in the United States will increase steadily for 3 decades before beginning a gradual decline in 2019, according to the website for the Centers of Disease Control. Twins are by far the most common multiple birth, obviously. In 2022, 114,483 twin births were recorded in the U.S., according to the CDC. That same year, there are about 2,774 sets of triplets born in the U.S., an additional 121 quadruplet or other higher order births. Can you imagine dropping a litter? I can't even imagine dropping one. But ladies, could you imagine dropping a litter? Anyway, the questions behind the increasing number of multiple births are not entirely clear. It could be linked to many factors, including maternal age and fertility treatments. That's fair. A woman in Mali currently holds the record for the most children delivered. I don't even want to know the number. Halima Cisse delivered 9 babies, non-tuplets, on May 4th, 2020. It's one day? Casablanca, Morocco. The Guinness Book of World Records reported on his website. Previous record was held by Octomom, Natalie Suleiman. Delivered octuplets. 9 babies. 9. Yeah. How long were you in labor? Because, I mean, seriously, it could have like, you have 9 babies and if you time it right, you have 9 babies, you could time it right. Half of them could have a birthday on one day, the half of them have a birthday the next day. But they're still technically non-tuplets. Oh my God. Yeah, something's in the water. I think you're right, EK. Yeah. Or maybe it's the fact that there's all this abortion going on and transgenderism going on, and so maybe the human species is like adapting, and soon it wrong because people are destroying their genitals and people are like killing babies. It's like they're going to start popping out litters because the population must continue. The human race, you have no idea how much your humanity wants to live on a cellular level. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. All right, let's get into this last story. We'll call it a day. Woman unexpectedly gives birth at Golden Corral in Arkansas. Names baby after the restaurant. What started as a casual...
Name your baby crappy food.
Crappy food? They named him crappy food. All right, anyway. I want you to know this. I want to say this off the bat. Putting Golden Corral or any part of that in this kid's name is the least odd word in the name. All right?
Okay.
All right, what started as a casual dinner at a Golden Corral restaurant ended with a surprise addition to a pint-sized family member. Tavia Woodfork visited the North Little Rock, Arkansas location with her family to enjoy a meal, but headed to the restroom after experiencing stomach pains, Fox television station reported. The 26-year-old's complaints were a result of a surprise pregnancy, and she was in active labor at 37 weeks. Tavia Woodfork reportedly experienced a cryptic pregnancy, which is when a pregnant person doesn't know they're pregnant, or persons maybe realize they're pregnant because the labor begins. They only realize they're pregnant when labor begins. How do you not know? 37 weeks, and you're like, I haven't used a tampon at all. That's suspicious? I don't know what it's like to be a woman, but that would seem suspicious. All right, this is all what they're saying at the Cleveland Clinic. Tavia Woodfork, a Mississippi resident, delivered a healthy 6-pound baby boy. Oh, cute baby. Mother paid tribute to the location where her baby was born by naming him Tamaar Kylon Corral Woodfork. Staff of the Golden Corral's North Little Rock location shared the announcement on their Facebook page. It's a boy. Please welcome us. Please join us in welcoming Tamaar Kylon Corral Woodfork, who is so excited that his mother was dining at Golden Corral that he decided to join her. He was just born in our Golden Corral restaurant in North Little Rock, Arkansas. His mom was so excited that she decided to include Corral in his legal name. She wants discounts. All I'm saying. Both mother and son are doing great, and they could not be happier. That's fantastic news. Welcome to Golden Corral family, Tamaar. Your new record holder as the youngest fan of Golden Corral. And don't worry, we'll make sure Mom is well taken care of with Golden Corral gift cards. She's taking care of you. See, they know what they're doing. Restaurant came through on the promise by gifting 26-year-old Mississippi mom with an assortment of gifts and a $200 gift card. Tamika Woodfork, Tavia Woodfork's mother, wrote on Facebook. A wild birth story also grabbed the attention of Golden Corral's nationwide team, who shared Tavia Woodfork's photos on X. A picture of her like with the baby feet and Golden Corral. See, marketing. As surprised as our team was at the news of the baby being born at our restaurant, we are truly honored to play such a momentous role in little Tamar's life. But no honor compares to having Tamaar carry on the Golden Corral brand with his own name, Tamaar Kylon Corral Woodfork. The spokesperson Golden Corral told Fox News Digital. I bet there are people standing around. Try saying that as fast as you can. Tamaar Kylon Corral Woodfork. Tamaar Kylon Corral Woodfork. You know, if you get this kid a trust fund, you know, just sign it right over to his therapist. Seriously. Quote, more than anything, we're incredibly thankful that a safe delivery and good health, along with mom Tavia's swift recovery. And we hope to celebrate Tamar's birthdays over and other life milestones at Golden Corral in the years to come, spokesperson added. We understand, you know, you don't want to come every year, but if you do, that's okay too. You know, at the end of the day, you boil down this story. Healthy baby born. And that's a good thing. That's a lovely, lovely, lovely thing. And a mother chose life. Even if he gets, hey, you chose life, and you get some gift cards for Golden Corral out of it. That's awesome too. Anyway, this is going to be the end of the show. I want to remind you again that I have a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio. Become a patron today. I would appreciate it. $3 a month. It's not that much. Shock Monkey Radio is the cash tag if you want to send me money through Cash App. You can follow me on social media at DNALETSAW. That's the word wasteland spelled backwards on the Twitters. Shock Monkey Radio Redux on Facebook, and at SLRobbins13 on Instagram. I also have books available for digital download. You can find them on Amazon.com. Search for the author Scott L. Robbins with 2 T's and 2 B's, or you can follow the links down in the description below. This has been Shock Monkey Radio. I'm the Madman, and I love you.